Coming up next on The Spot, we've got a ton of great stuff to check out this week, like a world premiere video taking a look at King Kong. Then it's off to Chicago, where we'll check out one of the coolest video game exhibits around. Finally, rounding out the show, we'll talk some fear, G4ia, all the while taking your calls and emails right here, live and on The Spot.
Welcome to On the Spot. I'm your host, Ryan Davis, sitting in for Rich Gallup, and along with me, I've got GameSpot elder statesman Jeff Gerstmann and Ryan McDonald. Jeff, what's going on?
Oh, not much, hanging out.
Ryan, what's happening over there on the stand-up sets?
Dude, I got so much happening over here, you can't even believe it.
What's happening first off today, my man?
First off, we are actually joined by a fourth GameSpotter who is literally on the other side of the planet. We got Homer Ribara on the line, waiting to talk to us live from Japan.
Let's talk to him.
Hey, Homer, are you there?
Hey man, what's up?
Hey, what's up, buddy? How you doing?
I'm here on this crazy rooftop in Japan. It's hot, and you got me talking about Akihabara or some games or something. What's up?
Hey, so what were you doing over there? You're checking out Akihabara and the whole gaming scene in Japan. What's that all about?
Pretty much. I mean, well, I was with Ricardo Torres, and we checked out the we interviewed. We had some interviews at Tecmo, and then we checked out the Square Enix Festival. And Ricardo, I'm sure, is going to go more into detail about that, but. My favorite place, and I'm sure it's a favorite of yours, is Akihabara, and that's pretty much what is considered Electric Town in Japan, and it's everything under the sun from movies, games, and of course, video games and consoles. So, I put together a little piece, which I'm sure you guys will take a look at later, but what I wanted to talk about is one of my favorite movies I got on UMD, which is Kung Fu Hustle. I don't know if you guys can see that.
Man, you're bootlegging.
I got some Kung Fu Hustle.
That actually came out while you were over there, right?
What was that?
That actually came out while you were over there, didn't it?
Yeah, pretty much. It's like everywhere you look, there's dude with the hand, the Buddha hand, and he's like flying through the sky. It's like everywhere, dude. So
Homer, have you run up your credit card bills real bad?
Yeah, pretty much. I'm maxed out. I'm just waiting for my next paycheck, waiting for Ryan to reimburse me for my expenses so I can spend more money, but,
You gonna pick me up some airsoft guns while you're over there?
Okay, yeah, go ahead. PayPal me. PayPal me a couple thousand yen, and I'll get you your AR-51 like you wanted, so. But at any rate, how are things over there?
It's awesome, dude. I mean, Ricardo came back home, of course, a few days earlier than you did, and he brought back this dope-ass Godzilla, the Godzilla Final Wars, which I actually got a chance to go see in theaters in Japan, which was awesome. So, but yeah, no, happy that's here. But yeah, so we're going to take a look at your piece later on. What are we going to look forward to seeing in it?
Well, pretty much, this is the year of the handheld, obviously, with the PSP and DS. For those who haven't been to Akihabara, of course, it's just like you can get everything from current-gen consoles to past-gen consoles to discontinued consoles, but this year it was more or less the year of the handheld. And, as you'll see in the piece, it's like every store has got these PSP displays, these DS displays. But what's funny, oops, there's a big truck going by. What's funny is that at all the used places, there's a grip of DSs, but there's no PSP used. So go figure. I don't know. Maybe people kind of agree with us that, the PSP is, it's got an edge. But at any rate, there's a lot of cool stuff coming out. And, yeah.
Sweet. Well, all right, we're going to take a look at that later. Thanks so much for joining us. We're actually going to move on right now, and we've got a world exclusive today. We got a world exclusive look at King Kong, Peter Jackson's King Kong. This is, of course, at the game, so without further ado, let's go ahead and take a look.
Get over here and hide! Jack! Over here! He's gonna tear this plane to pieces! We're not gonna last much longer! Get as far back as possible!
And there's a look at Peter Jackson King Kong. That looks really cool. Don't you guys think?
Yeah.
Yeah, looks pretty sharp.
So,
no monkeys, but giant dinosaurs for the time being, and that's pretty cool. I like dinosaurs as much as I like monkeys.
And-
so people are going to be able to download that on the site later today, right?
that is correct. It's going to go up with the preview.
Wait a minute. Monkeys are way better than dinosaurs. What are you talking about?
I don't know, Godzilla. I mean, we had that on earlier. And Godzilla's pretty cool. And
Godzilla's pretty cool.
he's
I don't know.
basically a
He's
dinosaur.
not a dinosaur.
Speaking
Whatever.
of Godzilla, we got some more Japanese import action over here, don't we?
We do.
We're being joined by our good friend Ricardo Torres.
What's up?
You've brought some fun back from Japan to show us, right?
I know Homer was talking about how it's all about the PSP, but usually I'm good with that. But we have just gotten this amazing game, which I had to have translated. Its name is, and I'm going to mangle the Japanese, Osu Tatake Oenden, which, this is a little quick Japanese lesson for those at home. Osu means yo or hey. Tatake means fight. And Wenden is cheerleader or cheerleading group.
So it's like Yo Fight cheerleaders?
Pretty much.
That's awesome.
So the really awesome looking dude on the cover with the headband is a male cheerleader, and that is actually what the game is about. You are controlling or helping male cheerleaders go across Japan and help people in need.
Let's take a look.
Let's.
You've got it loaded up, right?
While it's loading up, you'll notice that Innes should be familiar to like hardcore fans because they did Guitar Man.
Guitar Man, that game rules.
Hell yeah.
So this is from the same people.
It is.
It's crazy in a completely different way.
Yes. So we'll hop in.
Does that thing got a volume control on it? Can we
It
turn
does
on?
now.
All right, thank you.
All right. And so we're just going to go into that mode. Now the way this works is you'll see there's this map of, Japan, and you'll use your stylus to actually look around the map.
And all you have to do is just move the stylus around. You're moving the map around.
Yep.
Kind of dragging.
And you will see, you're going to see a bunch of heads over buildings, and those are all people that I have personally helped since I got the game. And then you'll see people that are still shouting for help that are levels that you still have to clear. I'm going to hop into the very first level to give you guys a taste of kind of the way the story unfolds. Because you're looking at different people as they go in their day-to-day lives, and in some cases they're being kind of dissed. In this guy's case,
That dude is stressing.
He was-
You can tell because he has the little Japanese anime sweat stress drop
The
going
mad
on.
homework going on.
well, he's studying for a test, and his family is not working with him. They're being really loud and obnoxious, and he's asking them to stop because, hey, test. Unfortunately, they're, not very into respecting his time, so he's sad, but then has the big old let's cheer.
Oh, he's going to have to get crunk.
He's going to have to get the cheerleaders and fight.
Do some crumping.
And so, as if on cue, there's a pack of cheerleaders show up at his house,
Male cheerleaders.
male cheerleaders, and they help him.
With cheers or
Yes.
What? So we're actually gonna get to the game part now, right?
Right here.
So you're pushing at those little things on the bottom screen, right?
Yeah, you're tapping on the circle, on the numbered circle as the outer one closes in.
What does the different numbers mean?
Points. Depending on your timing, you earn better ones.
So this is fully a rhythm-based game.
Yes, which is why I'm having so much fun playing it without sound. But I played it enough on the airplane to know this level by heart by now. And
So this is obviously pretty easy at this point, but I have to assume it gets pretty complicated as it goes on.
it does, and I will be showing you that in, well, you know what, let's hop to that right now. And just hop right out of the menu, and I will take you to
A more advanced level?
a more advanced level with policemen.
Oh, this is the one you showed me at the beginning, right?
Yeah.
This is good.
So again,
Cops
normal.
love cheerleaders.
Oh no, police!
Normal city day. people chilling, some people eating donuts, and hey, it's cops. You know, they're kind of enjoying a quiet day. But then, kind of wondering what's going on, so they go look. And, well, because it's Japan, UFOs.
Japan is where the UFO was invented. I don't know if a lot of people know that.
So, of course, if you have any questions about this or any other things that were shown today, GameSpot Complete members could be sure to go ahead and send in their questions using the form on the page. If you don't see the form on the page, that means you're not a GameSpot Complete member. So you should totally become one.
So now when it's clear that they're not friendly aliens, the police kind of freak out, and it's time to cheer.
Hugging.
They're
scared.
And now
Look at
it's time for some Japanese rap.
Word.
But this one's
Trumped
faster.
only
You
by
gotta go much
Korean
faster,
rap.
right?
This one's painful, so watch close because I'm going to die real
Okay.
fast.
All right, let's do it. Oh, whoa! What's up with the arc and stuff?
So you're actually having to slide the stylus across the screen with those arcs.
I gotcha.
No speaking, playing.
He can't talk because he's playing. Oh, but he's not playing particularly well.
Oh, you got the 300 right there. Look at that. 100 there, 300, 300. You're doing good.
Oh,
That is hard.
yeah, it is.
That's crazy.
So yeah, that's the game.
That's sweet. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Now,
So, Ricardo, what are the chances of this coming out in the U.S.?
Well, if we start a petition now,
Well, you know, if this developer's previous game, Guitar Man, was able to get it out in the U.S., we should be able to see this. Is
What?
Koei involved in this at all, or?
not at the moment. I think this is pretty Japanese heavy, especially with the music. Although they did license Ready Steady Go,
Nice.
oh, no.
but
You go.
this is one of those cases where I definitely think it's going to have to be a push from folks in the States to see this kind of game for it to actually happen.
Yeah, I mean, it's stuff like Field of Magic. I mean, there's already kind of a precedent for weird Japanese stuff on the DS, so maybe there's an audience for it.
So, kids, if you want your crazy Japanese male cheerleading games for the DS coming out in the U.S., start your online petitions today, because otherwise this probably isn't going to happen. Or maybe.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
maybe. Hey, you know, I mean, or just
But that won't-
flip
but
a
it won't
coin and
hurt.
hope for the best.
But
you
it
know,
won't hurt.
That's really all you can really do.
Indeed.
Yeah.
Well, Ricardo, thanks for coming and bringing that for us.
Always happy to share.
What's that?
I said always happy to share.
Of course. Up next, we've got a little clip from G4ia, which was happening last week.
Yeah.
And, of course, we were there, and we can show off a little bit of it right now, so check it out.
Last night, G4 TV held the taping for its third annual Gaming Awards ceremony, G4ia, at the Los Angeles Center Studios in Southern California. With over 500 people in attendance, along with a number of celebrities and gaming industry personalities, the event was well received by all. With awards spanning over 20 different categories, G4 TV seemed content to let the winners take the side stage, providing more of a party atmosphere with live music, food, drink, and plenty of games to play. High-profile game publishers such as Nintendo, Sony, Electronic Arts, and a few others had preview builds of their games on display, allowing the attendees to experience them firsthand. While the taping of last night's awards won't be airing on the G4 network for 2 weeks, the winners have already been released to the public. Nevertheless, be sure to tune into the show on August 9th to see how it all went down in its entirety.
So that's it, G4ia. We were there last week. You can find coverage of the event all over the site. And you can also watch it next week August 9th at 8 p.m.
Yeah, man. Maybe you'll get to see that guy trying
on
to
G4.
lick that Xbox. What is that about?
I don't know.
Homeboy was trying to lick the Xbox.
It must be an LA
That
thing.
is unsanitary.
It must be just like a thing when you're in LA about licking
No,
Xboxes.
because I mean we were just in LA.
That's true.
I didn't see anyone.
You were
trying
in
to lick
LA.
Xboxes. Yeah, you were in LA.
I was in LA. Ryan, you
was in LA.
Ryan, you were also in LA.
I was totally in LA.
We were in LA.
We were in LA.
We were in LA. We spent an earlier part of this week kicking it in LA, and we actually have a few photos from our little trip to LA. Can we roll those?
Let's take a look.
That's not quite it, but we have photos. We were kind of, well, we can't really say exactly.
We did some things in LA. Some things happened. I think
we met people.
Yeah, high-level people. Some meetings.
We
lunched.
We
did
lunched.
Some lunch. My people set up some things with your people.
Well, with my publicist.
Well, your publicist.
My publicist talked to your manager.
Yeah. Well, we were talking about Ryan's stylist, and as you can see,
there we are doing something.
hanging out.
I've got the thumbs up, and then there's Carrie, and then there's you working.
Me working a fog machine. I don't even know what that's about.
I don't think.
I don't even remember doing that.
I mean, then that's what happened.
I remember doing that to you, though.
Yeah,
you were mouthing off, and I
deserved it. I mean, I'll admit
it.
it.
Fists to you.
And there's some more TV magic.
Yeah, so
of some kind.
We'll have more to say
Monday
about this on Monday.
There's just a little taste of something that's going to be coming soon.
Very exciting stuff.
Extremely exciting.
I'm very excited.
Speaking of exciting new things to come, there's a big exciting new thing coming tomorrow at 10 a.m.
That's right, 10 a.m. tomorrow. Fear demo. You'll find it on GameSpot. Fear looks awesome.
Yeah, it does. Now this is a single-player demo, right?
That's my understanding.
Actually, if you look at the Fear game space, you'll find the E3 demo we did on stage. Supposedly, that is pretty much what the demo is going to be.
Cool. Yeah. Right on. That looked really good.
It did.
I mean, the whole game looks really good. I remember, when I was QAing the DVD, like looking at that video over and over again, and go, oh man, that game was awesome. So yeah, Fear, hot.
We have that video.
Yeah, we do.
So in case you forgot what Fear is all about,
take a look at some Fear.
Check it out.
Is a basic human emotion. What frightens you more? The evil that you know? Or the evil that you don't know?
Bluebird, what's your situation? Over. Bluebird, come in. What the hell?
Something's coming. It doesn't sound like a soldier.
I got a bad feeling about it. We're under attack. They're all over the place. Come on. There's more of them. We're taking fire. The goddamn ambush. I've been shot. Oh, shit. Son of a bitch. Check your safe. Expect company. This is team leader. We're moving into position. Got contact. Get out of there now!
Do you know the true meaning of fear? This game has not yet been rated.
I'm so answering now.
Fear looks awesome.
Yeah, the effects in that are really what sets it apart for me. It's just like, the little wave effect and the fire and that stuff. It looks awesome. Fear looks awesome.
So if you want to feel that, if you want to get the fear, 10 a.m. tomorrow morning.
Pacific time.
Come to GameSpot. You'll be able to get the Fear demo. It will be awesome. Of course, that is the primary focus. It is a single-player and a multiplayer game, but big multiplayer game right now is still Battlefield 2. I know you're still playing Battlefield 2.
Oh, man. Any chance I can get, I'm playing just nothing but Battlefield 2.
Just ranking up.
Just unlocking weapons, doing my thing, just squadding up, and smoking as many fools as I can possibly.
Of course, the best way to do that is with GameSpot's Game Center, which actually just launched officially. The sneak peek preview ended on Wednesday, and we rolled out the service in proper.
Yeah, it's awesome. I mean, basically, if you're a person that has complaints that you can't find a ranked Battlefield 2 server, which I know I was that person, that's the big thing with the Game Center does. You'll be able to launch a custom server that's ranked anytime you want. Anytime you want a ranked server on any map, any size, it's yours right there, button pushes away. It's amazing.
And we're running crazy deals on the Game Center right now. If you're an existing GameSpot annual member, GameSpot Complete annual member specifically, $20 gets you a year's worth of Game Center, and first 300 people, annual GameSpot Complete members that sign up for Game Center, get a free DVD.
Deals, deals, deals!
The E3, the GameSpot 2005 E3 DVD report, get it with the package. If you're a monthly GameSpot Complete member, it's just $2 a month.
That's a sales bonanza!
And if you're none of these things and you're like, I just want to get in on some Game Center, it's $9.95 a month, and you get GameSpot Complete with that. So
act now!
GameCenter.com.
Supplies are limited.
Go check it out. It is totally awesome.
Yeah.
Also, what's awesome is Japan. Ryan.
Yes,
Donald.
What's the word from our homeboy in Japan?
Homer, he's got all kinds of business happening. We're going to actually take some questions here when we come back from this, but right now we're going to go ahead and look at what Homer has to say about Akihabara and the Japanese gaming scene. So let's take a look.
So what's going on, fellas? I'm here in Akihabara. Yes, you've sent me out to Tokyo to go cover the Square Enix Festival and Tecmo, but as a little aside from the work that you've delegated to me this week, I've taken an opportunity to go to Akihabara, which is Japan's premier location for gadgets and gizmos and anything under the sun, from music, DVDs, and of course, video games. Behind me is Club Sega, which is one of many different arcades here in Akihabara. And without further ado, why don't we just go ahead and check out this place. I'm sure anybody who's willing to come to Tokyo or who wants to come to Tokyo is going to want to know any information about Akihabara, because this is the place to be, especially if you like video games. So let's go check it out.
In Electric Town, which is what Akihabara is also known as, it's not a matter of whether or not you can find what you want in Akihabara, but it's a matter of where and for how much. Stepping right out of the JR station, you see that there's a series of multi-level complexes that serve as places in which you can purchase any good that you're looking for. My first stop, obviously, was Club Sega. Club Sega serves as a host to all different types of coin-operated entertainment. As you can see on the first floor, there's a wide array of machines with the robot arms that you put your coin in, and you can try to fish around for all sorts of different goodies that you'd want to pick up. Venturing downstairs, that's where all the arcade games are. The cool thing about these video games is that each person gets their own machine, so that you're not hugging close tightly to the person that you're competing against. Right here is the new Virtua Fighter, and as you can see, people are going head to head, but their opponent is on the other side on their own separate machine. Upstairs, there was a wide array of rhythm games, such as this guy going off. I don't know what he's playing. And then there was a whole row of these arcade racers right here. This was another arcade I headed to, which was called Hey by Taito, which is another entertainment yard. And upstairs there was a bunch of different games similar to what you saw in Club Sega, but this game was Egret 2. And then downstairs there seemed to be an anime section, but as I ventured further and further down, it seemed like this area may not be appropriate for our viewers, so I went ahead and cut our camera. I came across this Trader 2 store, which I stopped and picked up some PSP peripherals. But what was cool is that this place had a wide array of old school consoles that you can't purchase anymore, like this Atari Jaguar. Back outside at these stands, there's a bunch of merchandise and action figures such as this Stormtrooper from Star Wars and this cool Neo doll from The Matrix. There's not just small shops on the strips of Akihabara, there's also this department store that I headed into, which on the first floor there was a bunch of J-pop music. As I climbed up the escalator, I went to the second floor and I saw a bunch of Japanese entertainment like J-pop DVDs, J-pop CDs, as you can see here. Going further up the building, I noticed that there was a section dedicated strictly to American movies, as you can see. But I also noticed that there was a section of Japanese and Asian movies, and unfortunately I wasn't able to pick anything up because, I can't speak Japanese, so I didn't know whether I was buying a good movie or a bad movie. And like many good stores in Akihabara, there are sections of places that are just strictly dedicated to hobbies and merchandising for your favorite franchises, such as these Gundam models right here. And being that this was the year of the handheld, every quality store obviously had a wide array of merchandise for your Nintendo DS and for your Sony PSP. Like these UMD movies, and also these little peripherals. Back out on the strip, as you can see, a lot of people are selling personal computers, handheld computers. And what's cool is that there's also demo stations out on the street where you can go ahead and play your favorite games. I happened upon one store where that sold strictly old school Nintendo and Sega merchandise, like these little Mario figurines and Sonic figurines. Another store I happened upon sold a lot of used merchandise, like your PS2, your DS, your Game Boy Advance. But what's funny is that I didn't see any used PSPs. Just like the other store with the Atari Jaguar, there's all sorts of old school consoles you can't get anymore, like this Sega Saturn and a slew of games. This building, for example, is one of many in Akihabara where it's just floors upon floors of crazy devices that you can buy, like toilet seat warmers, you know, your basic array of household goods. So that's my brief overview of Akihabara. I, of course, spent a lot more time than I did show you here in this little piece, but I'm getting a little tired, and I think I see a Mr. Donut right across the street, so I'm going to go get my sugar fix. So until next time, this is Homer for GameSpot Live, signing out.
You gotta love Homer. He does a good job with the keeping it real on the street. He's actually, I guess one of the other things was that he's tracking down some people and talking to them right there on the street. So that should be some more fun stuff he'll bring back with us when he comes home soon.
If he doesn't get deported,
That's
yeah.
right. So if you're watching Homer out there, still good job, way to go. I got some questions here for you.
Sure.
I got some stuff. This is from John Muniz out of Corpus Christi, Texas. He wants to know, with King Kong being a first-person shooter, do you see a future PC release along with this next-gen release? Also, do you think any actual King Kong controllable action will be included?
Well, I think they've announced that it's coming out on everything under the sun. As far as controlling Kong, yes.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, that's awesome. John Latore out of New York wants to know, so it's a film about people making a film.
The actual movie? Yeah.
And it's like, yeah, I know. It's like the original was the dude going over there to make, like,
Yeah.
So you should rent the old one and watch it. Actually, even like the 1975 one, I think it had something to do with that, right?
Yeah, I mean, that was a whole deal.
It's been a while since I saw it, but...
I'm a Godzilla man myself.
And we have a whole stack of these crazy questions for your Japanese game. This comes from Joey out of Honolulu, Hawaii. When is Hey Cheerleaders Go coming out in North America?
That all depends on you.
So yeah, send in those emails. Andrew out of Ohio, when you go to Japan, do you play pachinko?
I tried it once. I didn't know what the hell was going on.
George Gios out of Toronto, Ontario. Will this game be available in North America? Once again, it's up to you.
Never.
Such a downer, Jeff.
Everybody just wants to know when this game's going to come out.
Never.
Jeff!
Rob Davis out of Brisbane, Australia wants to know how many levels are songs in the game?
Well, so far, I hit the wall at the Japanese rap song, so that puts us at 14, and it's probably around 15, 16, maybe more. It's hard to tell. I'll let you know once I build up my reflexes.
Excellent. So how you guys doing over there?
Doing pretty good.
I'm kind of angry at Jeff because he keeps on dissing on the Hey Cheerleaders Go coming out in the U.S. You can make it happen, people. If you want it, it's all on you.
Look, man, this power to the people stuff just doesn't work, man. No, who's reading these petitions?
Katamari Damacy came out in the United States. Okay, that came
there
out
would have
because-
been a Gitaru Man 2 if it had done well enough to warrant one. I love Gitaru Man, but let's be realistic.
No, let's not.
Most of these games never
Let's
make
not
it
be
over.
realistic.
And I would be happy to be wrong. I've been wrong before. We'll see. But come on.
So speaking of seeing, we got a whole big cool segment that our good man Roger Chang put together. We actually went out to Chicago and we saw some history. We saw some history of the video game consoles, actually. They had tons of stuff. I mean, have you guys seen any
How
of
far back to go? Like, we're talking like Computer War, Space War, all that?
They do. They had the
Yeah.
Space Wars, right? They had Space Wars. They had the Pong, of course. They had. I mean, it's really. I mean, I guess we shouldn't really talk about it.
Yeah,
We
let's.
should
I
just
want to
take
see
a
it.
look.
Let's see it, man.
So, without further ado, let's go ahead and check out our look at the history of the console via the Chicago Museum of Science and Industry. Did you ever wonder where video games came from? Well, so did the people from the Chicago Museum of Science and Industry, which is where we find ourselves today. We're here to take a look at what's called Game On, an exhibit dedicated to the history of console and arcade games. So let's go ahead and check it out. I'm at the beginning of the Game On exhibit here at the Chicago Museum of Science and Industry. For those of you who haven't been here to see it, it is awesome. It's only going to be here for 3 more weeks, though, and it's going to move on to San Jose, the Tech Museum. But you're going to get a treat today because we're going to give you a little virtual tour. Back in 1972, this was the game that everybody fell in love with, as it says on the board behind me. Pong, of course, knocking a ball between two paddles, very simple, but of course, very addictive. We got a chance to catch up with some old-timers, this gentleman in particular, who had a chance to say this.
Pong was something I always dreamed of when I was young, and played it once, wasn't very good at it, and from then on I stopped with all games. That's as far as I went. I was telling them about Pong, so I told them they have to try this out. And it looks very hard for them because they're used to more advanced games, so he's not doing very well.
So I wish I was standing and telling you about the holodeck. This is not the holodeck. This is actually this thing called the Scanner and Friendship. Basically, it's kind of Simon style, but except big and 3D, so you can move through it. The grids on the floor allow you to walk over them, record your movement, and puts audio with it. So then you get a second friend who has to walk through and try to match your movement. We find ourselves standing in one of the largest areas here at the Game On exhibit. It is the genre section. This whole area has a ton of different games from all different eras, from all different consoles, showing what all the different games are all about. So you got puzzles, you got action, you got adventure, you got strategy. Kind of give everybody a general idea of what different types of games are. Right here I got Breakout. I was playing that a second ago, but the controllers, they could be better. We're going to go step into the future a little further and see what else they got around the corner. So I had to stop off and check out one of my all-time favorite games, Kung Fu for the NES. 1985, Chicago Museum of Science and Industry knows how it's going down. Around the corner, they got some Street Fighter 2 Turbo, 1993 for the Super Nintendo. Over here, we've got this Dungeon poster, and I think... Hey, what's up?
Hey, all right.
How's it going?
Great, how are you?
Pretty good. Hey, for the folks at home, this is Scott Beveridge. Scott, you're actually one of the curators that helped put this thing together, aren't you?
Absolutely.
So, we're going to talk a little bit later, but do you mind just tagging along with us and showing us some more of the exhibits?
Sounds great.
Sweet, let's go.
All right.
So what is the section that we find ourselves standing in right here?
We are standing in the United States and Europe section. And this looks at video games in the US and Europe and how video games that are released here are specifically attractive to the people in those countries.
So this is one game in particular that is total US and European. We're looking at Burnout 3 right here, right?
This is Burnout 3. It is a good example of what kind of game is attractive to Europeans and Americans. And it was great because it was actually developed in Europe, and when they brought it over to the United States, we loved it too. So it's got action, it's got excitement, it's got a lot of the elements that are popular in those two countries.
And I know everybody's eagerly anticipating the release of Burnout Revenge, which is coming out right around the corner.
Absolutely.
So, speaking around the corner, let's go see what we got.
All right.
So Scott, we find ourselves standing in the Japanese section of your Game On exhibit. Can you tell me what we got here?
Sure. Well, we put in the Japanese section because it's a nice contrast to the United States and Europe. In the US and Europe, people are really into competition, they're really into action. In Japan, you see more things like fantasy and RPG games. You see life simulations like driving a train or, other stuff like that. And then you also see games with almost virtual life where you can talk to a pet or talk to a virtual character and I feel like you're having a relationship with them. They also have a lot of influence from anime and manga as an art style. So they have a really distinctive, really cool kind of look to them.
I see you guys have a Dance Dance Revolution, couple of pads over here on the floor. Are you any good at dancing by any chance?
Absolutely, very popular. I just might do it.
All right, let's go see if we can do that and what else we can find, all right?
All right.
Somebody broke the pad. I can see the cord over there.
I know. That's down for maintenance.
I didn't get it told me. I could have brought you a pad.
So could I, actually.
Oh, yeah, really? 2. So, no dancing for us. Let's go see. I think you got some handheld stuff over here.
We got some great handhelds.
I want those little arcade machines really, really bad.
Absolutely.
Let's go check it out.
All right.
So tell me, Scott, what do you guys got here? I've had a lot of these handhelds, but there's some of them here that are older than I go back. So what do you got?
This case has an incredible variety of handhelds from all periods of gaming. We've got the Lynx, we've got Game & Watch, we've got PSP, we've got just about every kind of console you could want from every area of gaming.
Now, one of the things I saw over here is the Wonder Swan. That didn't make it real big in America, but I know in Japan you go over there and you can't go into a video game store without walking in $5 for $5. You get a chance to ever play one of those? If people ask you guys what's that all about, you get those little cards that explain a little bit, but people probably want to know more, right?
They do want to know more. Unfortunately, we have to keep it under a case because a lot of these are pretty rare, so we like to have everybody be able to look at them. But if you see things in this area and around the exhibit, you'll find that we have stuff from all over the world. And one of the things we like about this exhibit is the international flavor it brings to video gaming.
Now, one of the things that we're actually moving further into the era of the present as we go around the corner, correct?
That's right.
So let's go ahead and take a look.
Well, the museum's in Chicago, and so we thought, since Chicago's always been an area for video game development, let's show people what we do here in Chicago and some of the great games we make. So, of course, we start off with incredible technologies with our Golden Tee Live, which just released, and we actually got a pre-production copy so that people saw it here before it was even out in the marketplace. So we have NBA Street Volume 2, which was an Electronic Arts title, but it was also developed by NewFX, which was a Chicago game company that was just bought out by EA. So it's a great way to sort of look at that whole transition. We've got a company, and then we've got the bigger company that joined Chicago's community.
Scott, this is the games on film section. You guys got a bunch of games that are somehow related to one another to the movies that they are portraying. Can you tell me about what you guys got here?
Sure, we've got Star Wars, the Atari Star Wars cabinet. We've, of course, got Star Wars Rogue Leader, and then we've got a game called Manhunter, which is really there for the cabinet, shaped like a shark. Obviously, it came out right after the Jaws craze started, so they were capitalizing on that. Couldn't call it the Jaws game, so it's called Maneater. But it's interesting to see how culture and video games are starting to collide with each other. And this section just shows how movies and games are starting to go back and forth with each other. We see games turn into movies and movies turn into games.
I especially like the Super Mario Brothers poster. That is one of my personal favorites.
Absolutely.
All right, so you have the true future of gaming seriously on the other side of the wall, right? Let's go take a look.
This section is called Future Games, and we take a look at where games are going in the future by sort of looking at both where they are now and where we thought they were going to go in the future and probably didn't.
Now, I see some crazy Vectrex goggles over here, and I see, what is all this stuff you guys got in here? Can you tell me about some of it?
This is sort of the look of the past and what we thought the future would be in the past. So you do have the Vectrex goggles, you have Tamaguchis, you have Lego Mindstorm.
So is this the people really come to see these new releases, or is it just nice to kind of educate them as they go on so they know that they can find this stuff in stores today?
I think the biggest surprise for people is that video games are only 40 years old. And yet we've gone from Space Invaders and Galaga all the way up to iToy and Donkey Konga. And so over 40 years, which is not very long, we've had this huge leap in technology and gameplay and graphics.
All right, Scott. Thank you so much for the time. Really appreciate it. Beautiful exhibit. If you want to learn more about the Game On exhibit, you can go to the Chicago Museum of Science and Industry's website. You'll have it there right on the main page until September 5th. And then from there, it'll be on the archives, of course. If you want to see it for yourself, it's moving on to the San Jose Tech Museum. Check their website for more information. But until next time, I'm Ryan McDonald. Thank you so much again. Really appreciate it. Until next time. At the Chicago Museum of Science and Industry's Game On exhibit. My good man Roger did such a great job on putting that together. But I think Ryan Davis has got some action over there. What's up, Ryan Davis?
I don't really have anything. I'm just hanging out over here. Oh, we have callers.
Yes.
We have an 800 number, which the graphic's going to pop up on the bottom of the screen soon.
Bam!
There, bam, that's it. We got this 800 number that you can call up and yell at us about if you're a GameSpot Complete member. Just be sure to leave your username with us. We've had people calling, and so we've decided to pick out our favorites, and we're actually going to answer them on the air right now.
Let's do it.
Let's hear it.
All right, let's go.
What's the question?
What's up, guys? I downloaded the PSP 2.0, and I have an American PSP, and I'm sure I'm not the only person that did that. And while the people at Sony that I talked to today have assured me that there won't be any warranty voiding or anything like that by doing that, I just wanted to know if you guys had any idea if after this I wanted to get the American version of it just to be safe, would I be able to overwrite the PSP 2.0 that's already on there, or am I stuck until the next patch comes out? Thanks. My name's Anti-Man90, and I'm Bobby Oler from Montgomery Village, Maryland. See you.
Well, Bobby, basically all the previous firmware updates for the PSP have been bit-for-bit identical for all the different territories. So while Sony US has said that they're going to release the patch on August 12th, they've also called it 2.0. So it seems like they're just going to release the same update, and maybe the delay has more to do with them getting the U.S. version of the PSP website up to date, because right now they have a Japanese and Korean version up there, but there's no U.S. thing yet, so maybe they're just waiting to get that done. But regardless of that, if in the future when they release an American update that's higher than 2.0, it should work. But I'm guessing that when 2.0 comes out in the U.S., it's just going to say, you already have this installed, you don't need to worry about it. So you shouldn't need to worry about it.
So if they keep the same, even though it's in different regions, if they keep the same version number, we can anticipate that this is going to be the exact same update.
Yeah.
Regardless of where it's coming out.
Yeah, and they've kept the same version numbers across all territories so far. I don't see any reason why they would change that now. 1.0 was the Japanese launch, 1.5 was the U.S. launch, and then 2.0 was the Korean launch. So they're just going to keep moving forward, and I have to imagine they'll keep it synced up across territories.
So, Bobby, hope that answers your question for you. If other Games About Complete members want to give us a holler and ask us some questions for the show, that's the number. Call it.
877-506-8324.
That's it.
Yeah.
Thanks for reading it, Jeff.
I know how to read.
At least numbers.
Numbers, yeah. Words, not so much.
It gets tougher then.
It does.
I've got speaking of the caller stuff, I've got a surprise for you at the end of the show, actually.
Really?
Oh, yeah. It's like if you don't stick around for the credits usually, you want to stick around the credits today. There's some special fun I put in there for you.
Awesome.
Yes, sir.
Excellent. Speaking of fun, giveaways, prizes.
Giveaways, prizes.
We have prizes from last week.
We gave some stuff away.
We gave away 3 DVDs. Oh, and speaking of the DVDs, there's an update.
Yes.
For the DVD, the international
international orders. The page for ordering internationally, people in the UK haven't been able to order it yet, and some other territories. It's been crazy, but the page is in testing, and I know, every week it's been, soon. But we've actually seen some stuff working. It looks like it's wrapping up now. Over the next few days, you should finally be able to order your very own copy of our 2005 E3 DVD set.
But I got 3 lucky people here who don't have to win anything.
All right.
They've got it already.
Well, then they're set.
They're winners.
Well, and who are these people?
We have Mike Williams from the UK. Mike, good job. Adam Ramshaw, also from the UK, and James Pickett from LaBelle, Florida, stealing out from those damn limeys.
So the folks that weren't watching, what was the answer to the question?
What was it? The question was, what was the name of the documentary on last year's E3 DVD?
That's correct.
Jeff?
Yes, it was Stupid Pants Operation, which we got from something that Alex said along the way. Was it Brad? I don't know, Alex and Brad had a conversation. It got pulled from there. Stupid Pants Operation is the correct answer. So congratulations, you 3 guys. You'll get DVDs pretty soon.
And the cool thing is, while you have to get the new DVD to watch the new documentary, you can actually see last year's documentary if you go to the GameSpot Live page. I think it's under special features. So there's some keynote addresses, and then boom.
Stupid Pants Operation right there, staring you in the face.
Totally.
Awesome.
So that's about a show, huh?
I think that's it.
Totally.
I want to thank everyone for coming and kicking it. Jeff, Ryan.
Always happy to kick it.
Thanks for coming and hanging out. Ricardo, thanks for coming and showing your crazy DS game that will come out in the U.S.
Never.
All right. Well, maybe not. I'll concede.
There's
thanks, Homer, for all the work he's put in for us in Japan.
Overseas.
Yes. Putting in time overseas.
He's over there, making it happen.
The other thing I definitely want to mention before we go is that if you like the King Kong clip we had today, be sure to come back tomorrow because there's going to be another one. And I think there might even be one over the weekend, and then certainly on Monday there's going to be some big business.
We have King Kong in force. We have him caged up in the back, and we're taking movies of him.
But we're going to let the monkey loose soon.
I can't wait. So for the Floor Crew and for everyone else here, I want to thank everyone for watching. Rich will be back next week, maybe. And but you can still find us here live and on the spot. Thanks for watching.
This is Joel Hulsey from Covington, Louisiana, the guy who never wins anything. We need Gersman. We're dying for Gersman. Without Gersman, we're just shells of our former selves. We're to be pitied, like beggars in New Delhi, just trying to get an alm or a penny here or there. But with Gersman, we're rich. Life is full and complete. So we beg you, please give us back Gersman. It can be once a month, preferably once a week, but give us back Gersman.